Okay, today we're looking at a full body stretch routine. This should take you about 15 minutes. We're starting with a calf stretch, leaning up against a wall with your hands extending your right heel back, starting with a nice straight leg behind you. And then after about 15 to 30 seconds, bending your knee slightly. So we're starting with the gastrocnemius upper calf muscle with our straight leg, and then getting into the lower calf muscle, the soleus, when you bend your knee. After you've done both, switch sides, starting with a nice straight knee. And when you're ready, bending the knee. Next, we're moving into a lat stretch, so working on our overhead mobility in our shoulder joint. So planting our palms on the wall about shoulder width apart, hinging our hips back, driving our chest down towards the floor to stretch out the lat muscle. Holding for about 15 to 30 seconds. Good. When you're ready, one final stretch on the wall. We're going to do a chest opener. So we're going to reach our left hand behind us, standing perpendicular to the wall, opening through the front of your chest and your shoulder. Hold for about 15 to 30 seconds and then do the other side. Great, so now we're going to get into our hamstring muscles. Grab a yoga block if you need some extra height. We're going to do a forward fold, so you're folding at your hips, reaching your fingers to your toes, stretching out your hamstrings, lengthening through the backs of your legs. If you can comfortably reach the floor, you probably don't need the yoga block. You can hold your elbows to decompress your spine, doing some gentle side-to-side movements. After you've held your stretch for about 30 seconds, we're going to move into a hip flexor stretch. So we're going to get down on the floor, bring one foot forward into a lunge, and place a yoga block on either side of your heel. Then push your hips forward until you feel lengthening through your back hip. Our hip flexors run along the front of our hip joint, so that's where we want to feel this stretch. Don't forget to breathe while you're doing this stretch and all of your other stretches. Hamstrings and hip flexors can be chronically tight areas on a lot of folks. So just do your best to relax. Switch sides when you're ready. Holding all of our stretches for 15 to 30 seconds. 30 seconds is more optimal, so if you have the time, spend around 30 seconds in each stretch. Now we're going to do another chest opener. So stretching out our shoulder joints in our full range of motion, we're going to grab a resistance band. We're going to hold the band wider than our shoulders, and we're going to reach up and over our heads and behind our bodies until we feel some length in the shoulder joint. We don't want to overstretch our shoulders, so this should feel like not too much tension. If you have to bend your arms or struggle to reach behind you, you probably need to widen your hands on your mini band or your resistance band. If you're not feeling any stretch, you can bring your hands closer together and add some resistance. We're going to do 8 to 10 circles here. Once you've done 8 to 10 circles, we're going to come to all fours and we're going to do a spinal twist. So I'm going to reach my hand down behind my arm, setting my shoulder down. My hips are squared to the wall behind me, and I'm reaching my top arm over my head. So I'm stretching my thoracic spine, my lat in my top arm, and my deltoid in the arm that's reaching. After 15 to 30 seconds, switch sides. Twisting your shoulder down towards the floor. Reaching your top arm over your head, squaring your hips so that you get a nice stretch in your thoracic spine, your deltoid, and your lat. Now we're going to flip to our sides. We're going to do a side lying quadricep stretch. To keep our spine in alignment, we're going to place our head on a yoga block. Reach for our top leg, for the top of your foot, bend your knee, bring your heel to your glute, and try to reach your knees down and together, extending through the front of your thigh. Then we'll go to the other side, so we'll flip over. Reaching down and back for the top of your foot. Heel to the glute, knees reach down and together, extend through the front of your other thigh. Again, breathe here. These can also be pretty tight muscle groups. After you've spent 15 to 30 seconds on each leg, we're going to roll to our backs. My head is elevated on a yoga block here. I'm crossing my left ankle over my right knee, rotating my left knee out, and then bringing my right knee towards my chest for a figure 4. I'm stretching my glutes here. If the yoga block underneath your head feels comfortable, you can keep it there. If you're having trouble reaching for your hamstring, what you can do is place the block underneath your lower back and elevate your hips. Now I'm crossing my left knee over my right thigh, crossing my left knee towards my right side, taking another glute stretch, again with some thoracic spine. Then moving into a figure four on the other side. So now crossing our right ankle over our left knee, rotating our right knee out, reaching through, holding our left hamstring, stretching out our right side abductors and glutes. Again, option to elevate your hips with a yoga block. Removing the block from the back of your head, placing it under your back can give you a little bit of help here. And then crossing our right knee over our left thigh, twisting through the spine, driving the right knee down towards the floor into a spinal twist and another right glute stretch. Now we're going to remove the block from our low back or behind our head. We're going to grab our resistance band and move into a hamstring stretch. If you find that it's hard to get your leg in the band without the yoga block, you can replace it behind your head and give your head a little bit of elevation. After you've spent 15 to 30 seconds pulling your foot straight towards you, we're going to move into an inner thigh stretch. So we're going to let our leg fall open out to the side, keeping our foot in the band. Your non-stretching leg can open as well to provide some counterbalance. After 15 to 30 seconds, switch the band into your other hand and cross your leg across your center line. Stretching the outside of the thigh. And then switch sides when you're ready, starting with our hamstring stretch, bringing our foot straight towards us. And bringing the foot out to the side after 15 to 30 seconds, moving into our inner thigh stretch, also known as our adductors. And then crossing the body with your legs, stretching the outside of the thigh. And if at any point this yoga block underneath your head doesn't feel great, feel free to remove it. This is mostly a tool for folks that have really tight hamstrings and have trouble reaching their foot when they're putting it in the band. Not everyone will need it. Okay, so now that we've stretched everything out, we're going to do some deep breathing for about 30 seconds, just letting our body settle into its nice lengthened form. Laying in a starfish position, palms are open to the ceiling. Big deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And slowly coming up to seated when you're ready. And that's the end of our stretch.